Hey guys, in this video I will show you how to play Vyse on Sunset, and it will start right here on A side when you are defending. So let's go and start right here. One of my favorite ways to do a setup here would be by simply doing this. You can place your wall on this spot pretty much anywhere, but I would recommend to do it right here. Then you want to combine it with your flash, which you can place on this wall and together with one of your razor vines. That way, anyone, if this activates, you can just simply activate this and peek with it. The wall will block off their entrance and you can get some free kill on anyone who would be entering the site. You can always do the wall a bit further as well. Another way where you can do this little trap would be right here. You just want to do it anywhere in this area, so as soon as the wall goes down, you just place the wall, do your flash here, and then you can play pretty much either here or in this corner. That way, of course, once again, you can combine it with your razor wine if you want to place it right here. And then if the wall goes up, you just simply activate flash and you can get a kill on anyone who would be here, and you can even push him. Since usually if the enemy would be pushing, he would always be blinded perfectly from this flash right here, and it's quite unexpected, and the wall will indicate to you when to flash. Another flash that can be useful would be by simply placing right here on this spot. Well, like this, but like this, just like that. That way you can be peeking from spawn pretty much anywhere if you want. You can be holding it. And there's plenty of ways you can once again do, for example, one of your walls right here with your razor wine. That way, if that goes off, you can just once again activate it and get the kill on guy right here. Since if he would be coming out, this would always blind him. And this flash is nice since it is visible from a lot of corners when the enemies would be pushing into the site. And they would be always looking this way. And even you can keep this hidden for retake, and then you can go in. If you are going for retake, you wanna be doing your flash on the wall right here. So that way it's gonna be on this corner. That way if you flash in, it's gonna blind pretty much everyone on site. Since as you can see, this is visible from almost all of the corners where the enemies would be playing. Or once again, if you are coming out of spawn, just simply do your flash. You wanna be elevated, and you can do it like this. So that way it's gonna be pretty nicely high up. That way if you flash, it would blind once again anyone who would be in this area. One of the ways that you can do, you can be using your wall on mid just to gather the info that there's no one flanking. However, I would not really recommend that, since you can use it much better right here on B side, where I think the Vyse is one of the best. Once again, the very simple setup, you just wanna do stuff like this. So that way they will be flashed and then one through the wall right here. So that way you can peek with it. As you can see, this is a nice spot for it. And then if the wall activates, you just do this and you surprise the enemies, and you will always get a free kill on the one guy who's had pushed in. This is super simple. It can stall a lot of time, and you will usually get free kill by doing this, since you will disintegrate the push and they will have to challenge you one by one. Of course, right here in market you can be using your wall like this as well. However, I don't think this is very effective use of your utility. Another spot for the flash where you can do it would be right here. So that way, if the enemies would be coming to the site, you can be flashing from that window. However, the further they get, it's not gonna blind them, and this flash would be helpful as well, since it can blind people who would be in market. And obviously with the setup, if you are right here in B, you don't have to do that one. You can be also playing from here. Once again the wall goes up, you can get some swing on anyone who would be entered inside. And of course you don't even have to be playing here. You can be always playing from the market, which would be nice spot, since usually this might get smoked off. However, if this is smoked off, you can just make your way into the smoke, flash, and then peek out of the smoke, and you can get some free picks by doing this. Now let's move on to attacking, and that is this one simple lineup which you can use. You just wanna be in the middle of this bar. You wanna look up, and as you can see, there's gonna be this flag, and you will be aiming at the tip of it, the top tip of it. Place your crosshair there and throw there your razor vines. with this lineup, it's gonna land right here in the backside. That way, if you are pushing, anyone would be right here, would have a hard time moving, or not. He could not be really moving at all, since he would be getting damage instead. If you are pushing right here, one of the things that I like to do, I like to flash right here, so that way I know if there's someone coming out of this spot. Since if they are peeking me, you can always place it further back as well. And this flash is nice since it's gonna tell you if it blinded someone. And of course you can be doing it through the wall right here, so that way you can gain some space as well. Another way, if you are going deeper inside, you don't have to use either of them, just make sure that those spots are covered. Just place your flash here and try to push in. Since this flash would blind even anyone who would be on the ramp. If you made your way to the side, there are two things that you can do. One of them would be to try to stall the time, since you can be using your wall and your razor vines in this combination or in this combination, so that way if the wall activates you can just detonate this and make sure that no one pushes in, or just simply only with your razor vines you can win quite a lot of time, since not many people really want to be pushing through that. Or the other way, if you've planted your spike anywhere in this area, you can be placing your wall like this, so that way if the enemies come to defuse, the wall will throw them off the spike and they won't be able to defuse and would have to wait 7 seconds. So this is one of the nice ways which you can do, since this can work for you as a post-plant lineup. Not really a lineup, but this post-plant utility which will deny enemies to defuse for the next 7 seconds. If you want to be going mid, there are two ways how you can flash. One of them would be simply through this box, or the other one, which I would say is much better, since enemies are most likely to hold this corner instead of the other one, and flash on this corner right here. That's why anyone who would be trying to hold you, most likely from this corner, would be blinded by this spot. One of the things that you can also do, you can let your teammates push into the market, and you can place your flash right here. That way anyone who'd be blind here would be blinded by if they would be holding that. And this spot is quite nice, since even enemies who would be deeper trying to hold you would get blinded. So have that in mind, it can be very useful, and you can place it pretty much on the whole thing right here, as long as you are anywhere in these spots. For pushing into B, I like to do at the start of the round, flash like this, which would tell me if there's someone pushing or holding the corner. Then very simply, if you are going into the side, just placing your flash on this corner would work nicely and would never blind your teammates who would be pushing with it, since as you can see it's gonna pop behind their back and the flash would last very small amount of time. However, once again, if you've made it here, one way you can use your utility would be to try to stall for the time. So again, using your utility like this, or even once again for the spike, which you can plant right here, you can do the wall. So that way, if you plant it anywhere in this area, this would work nicely and would throw the enemies off the spike. So definitely give this thing a shot. I think it's a nice thing to do, and if it works, it's gonna work very nicely for you. But make sure you try this in custom first, so that way you know where to place the wall, unless it's gonna break and it wouldn't really work, or so that way you don't leave a big gap there and enemies can still defuse and you cannot see them. One thing that you can do is one simple lineup. You wanna see that there's this line on the wall, and you just wanna place your cursor in the middle of this line. And that way, even if this B main is smoked off, you can just walk to the left and you can line yourself up until you are next to this wall with your crosshair, and you just simply throw there your razor vine. That way it's gonna land perfectly at this spot. That way anyone who'd be playing in this corner cannot be really pushing you. And lastly, if you wanna be using your ult, I would recommend you to be ulting from this spot, since as you can see it's gonna cover pretty much the whole side. I would say it is slightly better than on A, since for A you need to get into much more dangerous position. However, if you make it here, there's no reason not to, since it's gonna work pretty well as well. The same thing works for defending. I would say on A, if you are able to ult from here, it's gonna get anyone pretty much on the side, unless of course they are in here or deep in a main. And if we take it onto the B side once again, you can be ulting from this spot where it's gonna work very nicely, since as you can see, only people who would be here are not gonna get hit by it. And one last thing, of course, don't forget that you can be using your wall, this one, for holding your flank, so that way, if the enemies are trying to flank you a lot, you can be doing walls like this, so that way at least you know that they are on your back, and you can try to do this either here or in front of A as well, doesn't really matter. But I think you doing this would really lose the potential of the wall, so I would not really recommend it, but if the enemies are flanking a lot and you have a trouble with it, you can definitely do this. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and see you guys soon, bye!